Hi, this is Mrs. Heisenmuddle, and you'll notice you're not seeing me for this video. It's because, honestly, I'm sick and I look terrible. So, I am finishing up my shape box, and I've had a couple of questions about a lid and how to get the lid on there. So, what I'm going to do is show you two different ways to attach a lid onto this box. So, if I want to do a permanent lid attachment, I can come here and you see how the top of the box is all in one piece. So what I can do is I can click there and create a sketch on top of that, draw a rectangle right on the top, and notice I clicked when it went green and clicked when it went green, then went OK, so I know that it's a perfect fit. And then I can go over here and I can extrude that upwards, and you're going to say, wait, it just extruded that, so select the inside as well. And so what I did, okay, I'm going to back up and show you again, is I went and I clicked extrude, I clicked the outside, and then I also clicked the inside. And right now it wants to do it 1 inch. Well, it's been a while maybe since I did this, and I can't remember, so I'm going to go to my list parameters, and I'm going to select the same extrude that I shelled the box to, which was a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to hit OK, and now I've created on the top of my box a lid, which I can then create a sketch on and go ahead, and so now I have a little square with a piece taken out. So I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to extrude it, my half circle, my little Pac-Man shape, and my square with half of it out. I'm going to use shell as my distance, but I'm going to cut instead of extrude out, hit OK, and now I have shapes on my top, okay, which is what I was looking for. So that is the first way that you can go in and make a top and put shapes on it. Okay, so here we are back with our box with no lid. And so what I'm going to do is the second way to attach a lid would be to actually leave this box the way it is. I'm going to go ahead and create a new part. So I'm going to make my top as a completely separate part, and we'll just call it top or lid or something. I'm going to create a two-dimensional sketch on the XY. I'm going to make a rectangle, and my box was 10 by 10. But just in case I decide to change it later, I might want to go back and do the same thing with the parameters. Notice they aren't here anymore. I would have to go in and link this to that same file if I want to do it that way, which I can do. So I'll show you really quickly once again. I'm going to go over here to Manage and Parameters, open up the parameter window. I'm going to go to Link, and I'm going to come over here, and I believe the one I want is the Paralist 2, I think. Let's see if it works. There we go. So my Paralist 2 worked, and I'm going to click Done. And so now when I double click on any of my dimensions, I can click the arrow, go to the list of parameters, and say, okay, this is going to be the width. And select, and I'm going to home screen or zoom out, whichever is easier, because now you can see that it's 10. So I'm going to come back over to Sketch. I need to dimension this side. Right there, click, pull, double click, come over here, and we are going to go to the list parameters, and that will be my height. There we go. I'm going to finish the sketch and do a zoom all, and now I'm going to extrude it out, but instead of having a number, I'm going to go to the list parameters and extrude it out the same as my shell, which should be a 1/2 inch. Hit OK. I can change the color. I can go ahead and put holes in it at this point if I want to, and I'm actually just going to put one in there so that you can kind of see what happens. And so there's my, I'm just going to turn that circle into a hole. which I could do there, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna extrude it backwards with the cut shell. So there you go. And then I'm gonna go over here to the I menu or the application menu and go to Save As. And notice I already have one lid in there. I'm gonna call this one Lid 2. Very creative, I'm well aware. And yes, I'm leaving it gray for the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm also going to close my box. And now, whoops, not open. I want to create a new standard assembly file. That's a standard IAM file. So everything else, the entire box is set up as one part, and the lid is another part. So I'm going to go over here. Here's my box. Click. Zoom out, right click OK, and now I'm going to place lid number 2 right there, open, place it, right click OK because I only want one, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to constrain it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to attach the edge here to the edge here because I want it to swing upwards. So, and I've always told you guys not to mate on edges unless you want it to act like a hinge. Well, in this case, I want it to act like a hinge. So I'm going to see if I can apply that. Yeah, which, believe it or not, it actually did work. So it looks like it's inside because it is inside. But see what happened? Yeah. I know, it looks a little funky right now, so hold on. First thing I have to do is I'm going to come over here, find my original box. I'm going to right click and ground it so that it doesn't move anymore, which makes this much easier to see. So it'll go up and down, but it's also still sliding side to side. So I'm going to go ahead and flush the flat edge right there with the flat side of the box. Apply, home view, and now I can close that constraints window and there you go. Yes, it will go all the way through. And you can mess with that in the joint section and stuff like that. But in the end, that basically lets you put the lid on the box and have it be openable. Whereas, remember with the other one, you couldn't open it because it wasn't hinged. I had just created a static lid. This is a movable lid.